Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to a very special episode. My name is Manahil Remotejobwali and I am joining you from the vibrant city of Karachi, Pakistan. Today we have the privilege of hosting an extraordinary guest whose career is a mosaic and compelling narrative, celebrated interviews and impactful media presence. She's interviewed icons like Hugh Jackman and Rosal Crowe, shaped the narrative in leading newspapers and magazines across Australia, and inspired countless individuals through her workshops and speeches. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the remarkable Adloin. Adlon?
Th- Thank you, Aldwin. Yes, thank you, Manahil. Aldwin. It's a tricky name.
Alright. A beacon of inspiration in the world of journalism and communication. Today, we are diving deep into the journey of a woman who's not just witnessed the evolution of media but has been a pivotal part of it. So, Ma'am Adlon, thank you for gracing us with your presence. Your story is a masterclass in patience, perseverance, and the power of communication. Let's explore the chapter of your life, the lessons learned, and the wisdom you be eager to share with us all. So, welcome. How are you?
Thank you, Manahil. It's a great pleasure to be on your show. I'm fantastic and I'm so inspired by you as a 15-year-old doing this. I think it's absolutely wonderful.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much, ma'am. So, thank you so much for giving me your precious time. Can you please introduce yourself for my viewers before moving on questions?
Sure, absolutely. So my name is Aldwin Alternay. A lot of people call me the media queen because my name is very hard to say. And I have Greek, Turkish, Ukrainian background. And I was born in Sydney in Australia. And I nowadays I love my life. However, it wasn't always like that for me. In fact, growing up in Sydney, I was bullied a lot as a child. A lot of children were very nasty to me when I was younger. I really felt for a long time like the outcast. I felt like I didn't belong. I felt invisible. In fact, I had invisible friends even when I was growing up. And it's interesting how I've come full circle from that. I've gone through quite a journey. At 10 years of age, actually, I played table tennis and featured in the local paper because I became very good at table tennis. My dad always said to me, anger is danger. And I internalized my anger until he introduced me to table tennis. And then I started to, when I got on the table, I started to belt the hell out of the ball and became very good at it. And so I featured in the local paper, the Manly Daily at the time, at 10 years of age. And at 11 years of age, I was on Cartoon Connection, a big TV show for children in Australia. And they had 2 million people on that were watching that show at the time, I remember. And then I did a radio show at age 13. So like yourself, I started very young. And back then we had no social media. This was all traditional media. So I used to go into the local radio station and I would do my show. And I used to write a lot of poetry. And that was another way that I released my anger, was through poetry. And then I did work experience at 16 at the Manly Daily. I went on and I did a media degree at the University of Canberra. I did photojournalism and TV production as my two majors. I edited the university newspaper for a year and a half. And then I went on and worked in TV, radio, and print media for about 20 years. And now I've had my own business called AA Expose Media on the Gold Coast. We do public relations, we do photography, videography, media training. I have a mass media mastery program where I train people in groups and work with people to get clear on their message and teach them how to get out there. So now it's sort of 40 years media experience. I've just turned 50. And I tell you what, Manahil, the years go very quickly. Let me tell you, they just fly like that. And before you know it, you'll be much older than you are now. So enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey. In some ways, I wish I was 15 again, but in other ways, I'm really glad I've got all that experience behind me. So it's been quite a ride, and I've interviewed some phenomenal people in that time. I've worked in TV, radio, and print as a journalist and a sub-editor as well, and I've edited magazines. I've freelanced for magazines all over the world, and you mentioned Russell Crowe and Hugh Jackman. I've also interviewed Charlie Sheen, Jewel. I've interviewed Debbie Harry from Blondie. Interviewed some phenomenal people. Cyndi Lauper was one of my big superstars that I loved when I was growing up, who did the song Girls Just Want to Have Fun, and so many others. It was quite a ride. And and then we were covering hard news stories as well. Sometimes we'd be at accident scenes before the police or the ambulance got there. We did some pretty phenomenal things, and we interviewed a lot of amazing local people that most people just wouldn't know about. And when you start to chat with them, you realize, wow, everyone has a story. Everyone has a unique story about them. And the trap can be, with the world of social media now, the trap can be that people compare themselves to others, and everyone's on their own unique path. I think it's very important to celebrate the journey of life, to really enjoy life, no matter what you're doing. The more fun you have, the more money you'll make, right? So bring that passion to what you do. And now I've having had depression myself, having had 4 friends who actually took their own lives by the age of 45. Now I'm very passionate about getting more good news stories out in the mass media. And I started a Good News Day on the 8th of the 8th, 2018, which we do every year. And the Global Good News Challenge I started through COVID as well. And we do that every single month, where I encourage people worldwide to share gratitude and good news on some simple live videos, which we then share out to thousands of people. And I really invite people to get on camera, to do a little live video and share what they're grateful for, share their good news. The whole format for that is in Facebook. It's in the Global Good News Challenge Facebook page. At the top, people can see exactly how to participate in the Global Good News Challenge. And I tell you what, you will feel amazing when you get grateful, when you get into gratitude, when you think about things that you love about yourself or about life in general. You will immediately feel better, and so will the people who see your videos. And what you're doing here is wonderful, Manahil, to inspire people to, to be their best selves, to have conversations, to not be shut down and be quiet about things that matter to them. A lot of people die with the music in them. Most people die with regrets. And this is about how can you live life fully, because it does go very fast. And now with the world of artificial intelligence, and we have half the world's population now on social media, active social media users, about 4 million people, active media users, 4 billion people, about 8 billion people in the world, 4 billion active social media users. It's insane, absolutely insane. And I've got some wonderful people here. We've got S. Khan, and engineer, Mr. Hassan. Hello, thank you for joining us. Yeah, so that's just a quick snapshot of my background there, Manahil. I have done workshops as well, of course, media training, my mass media mastery program. We have people from all over the world. We do monthly trainings. We have a Facebook group. I work with people one-on-one in that program as well. So if anyone's interested in working together, they can just reach out to me as well through my calendar link, which is in my link tree. My link tree /Aldwin's got all my links. Yes, and it's it's been quite a ride. I've invested a lot of money in my personal and business development, and I think that's another really important thing I would recommend to people, to get some mentors. I know you have some great mentors, Manahil, which is wonderful. Get some mentors, get some coaches. As a table tennis player, we always had coaches. In fact, we'd have multiple coaches as a table tennis player. And, I represented Australia for 6 years with table tennis. I played in the World Championships in Japan and traveled around Europe and Asia from the age of 13 to 19. So when I was your age, Manahil, I was playing a lot of table tennis. I was playing table tennis during the day and then dreaming about table tennis at night. Everything was table tennis for me back then. And yeah, what a ride it's been. It feels like a lifetime ago now, but I feel like I'm only getting started as well. Yeah, very exciting.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your very wonderful introduction. And as Khan Vlogs, thank you so much for joining us. And engineer Mr. Hassan, thank you so much for joining us. So, ma'am, now reflecting on your illustrious career, so which interview with a celebrity like Hugh Jackman or Russell Crowe do you consider the most unforgettable, and what unexpected insight did it reveal to you about the nature of fame and creativity?
Great question. Well, I loved interviewing Cyndi Lauper. She had a very strong New York accent, and she said funny little things like, like I said to her, "Why have you got uh, a leopard tattooed on your body?" And she said, "Oh, well, my mom used to wear the leopard jackets, and I thought that it'd never go out of fashion." She said things like that. So she was really fun and wonderful personality. In fact, most of the celebrities I spoke to seemed like really nice people. They seemed like people who absolutely loved their life. They were lovely to chat with. Now, there was one or two that were a little bit arrogant. I can say Renee Geyer, she was a bit of a tough one to interview, and so was Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe was a little bit of a tough one. And I remember Russell Crowe saying, I said, "What's it like being famous?" And he said, "Well, having the paparazzi run after you as you're scratching your ass, so scratching your bum is how he said ass, but he means his bottom. As he was scratching his bottom, having the paparazzi follow him with cameras is not a fun part of the job," he said. So, I'd imagine that these celebrities would have cameras at them all the time. They wouldn't have much privacy. And I would imagine that would be quite tough for some of them. And also, the media can be quite cruel sometimes. Mainstream media can make up stories about people sometimes, and that they sometimes can do a lot of bullying through the media as well, which can be really tough for a lot of celebrities. For them, then it's really important to build some resilience, to build almost a tough shell, to not let people in too close. So I remember when I interviewed Russell Crowe, his PR agency was saying, "Don't interview him about potentially being a father," because he was going out with a lady called Danielle at the time, and everyone was saying that she was pregnant. There was a lot of rumors going that she was pregnant, and they were specific about, do not ask him about whether she was pregnant. And sure enough, she was pregnant. She had the baby, etc. But he was there to promote his band, which was called 50 Odd Foot of Grunt. He came to the Gold Coast, and I interviewed him by phone before he came to the Gold Coast. And the event was packed out. It was at the Surfers Paradise Beer Garden. I remember about 25 years ago. And it was an amazing event. And actually, he's not a bad singer either. It was kind of like a blues rock band. And I was quite surprised. He's a very talented man, Russell Crowe, and of course, a great actor. I really admire him as an actor. However, he was very blunt in his interview. He wasn't a really friendly kind of personality. Whereas Hugh Jackman, I interviewed face to face with Claudia Carvin when they did the Paperback Hero movie back in 2000, early 2000s. And that was fantastic. I really enjoyed that. He was lovely, and so was she. They were both really nice people. We talked about star signs and all sorts of different things. It was a really fantastic interview. And I only wish now that I got a photo with them way back then. That was well before Hugh Jackman did Wolverine or anything like that. He was, he was just really getting started, I guess, on his career back then. Lovely people, though. I'd say, 99% of the celebrities that I've interviewed have been really wonderful people. They've been very warm, very, very kind. They seem like kind sort of people, and people who really are making the most of life. And that's the thing, is they love what they do, and it shows, right? They love what they do. They've kept going with it. Even at times, they probably haven't had much money when they started out. They might have been doing all sorts of odd jobs, maybe some remote jobs even back then, possibly not. But, some of them were waiters, some of them, working in cafes and things like that in between acting jobs in America. And it's a tough road there. It's a very competitive industry in acting and in music and in anything creative. It's a very competitive industry. However, everyone brings their unique flavor to it. And I think if you're determined enough, if you really want something bad enough, you can make it happen. And I think all the celebrities I've interviewed have certainly shown that. They've had extraordinary lives. Debbie Harry, I remember seeing from the band Blondie. It was one of my favorite bands growing up. She performed on the Gold Coast when she was nearly 60, and that was an amazing interview. And then there was people like Mary Coughlin, a lady called Mary Coughlin, was an Irish singer, and she started singing when she was in her 40s, and she was amazing. She was one of the best singers that I have ever heard, and most people just wouldn't even know her name. And I thought, wow, she is just absolutely amazing, and I really enjoyed that. And then more recently, I interviewed Barry Crocker, who's 88 years of age, and he's been a very big name in Australian entertainment industry as an actor and as a singer. He did a Banjo Patterson show when he came to Australia about 20 years ago, and I interviewed him 20 odd years ago. And then recently, only in the last few months, I interviewed him on Media Queen TV, on my show online. And we did a nearly 2-hour interview. It was a phenomenal interview, the longest interview he's ever done, and the longest interview he's ever done on through the internet like this. He has adapted to changing times. There was none of this around when he started performing, and it was a fantastic interview. I'm so grateful that he made the time for that interview, because he shared so much knowledge, and he even shared a poem by Banjo Patterson in the interview. So people can actually go back. They can see that on the Aldwin Alternate Media Queen TV YouTube channel. They can go back and see that Barry Crocker interview. And then I've interviewed people like David Icke, who was amazing as well, on my YouTube channel in 2016. And when he first started speaking about what was going on in the world, a different viewpoint to what we were hearing in the mainstream media, a lot of people knocked him, a lot of people put him down, but now he's got thousands of followers worldwide, and a lot of his predictions are actually now have come true since then. So it's really wonderful, and such an honor to interview some of these extraordinary people.
All right, ma'am, that's an amazing answer. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the amazing answer. Now
My
let's move
pleasure.
on to next question. My next
Sure.
question is on your screen. Your career spans various roles, including acting and radio hosting. How do these experiences enhance your capabilities in your current profession?
Great question too. Well, it's all the creative arts. Everything I've done is creative arts. I love photography. I love videography. I love acting. I've also produced. We produced a short film when I was at uni that we actually topped our class. We had 60 students in our class, and I topped the class back then. With two other people in Canberra University with our first film. It was called Batteries Not Included, was our first little short film that we produced at uni. And I've been involved in many other short film projects, in feature films. I've had some roles and done a lot of extras works in TV commercials, etc. And I've done acting also in theatre. So I did quite a few theatre shows back in the day, and also quite a few radio shows. And I love it. I love being creative. I love expressing. Nowadays, I love expressing my creativity. Whereas once upon a time, I was very shy. I really worried about what people would think of me. I used to not want to look bad and all that sort of thing. And now I don't care. I don't care what people think of me. I'm all about now. I speak my truth. So I think really it's helped me to honor and love myself. And I think this is one of the most important things for people, is to practice self-love practices. And in fact, I just did the Global Good News Challenge for February, my day 1 of 2. It's a 2-day challenge for February, being the second month. And you can start anytime within the month, your 2 days. But last night I actually talked about five ways you can love yourself more. 5 ways to love yourself more. Right. And then today I'm going to do another video, and I'll talk about 5 ways to love yourself more, because I think, hurt people hurt people. And I think one of the biggest things in life right now is people put themselves down, and they put other people down because they are hurting people. They don't love their life. And I think the more we can find ways to love our life, the greater experience of life we will have, the more we will be able to lift other people around us. This is the thing, is that no one is better or worse than anyone else. We are all vibrating at different frequencies, right? Which, if you look at Dr. Hawkins' scale of consciousness, it shows that when we have different feelings, we vibrate at different frequencies. We are all 99.9% energy, frequency, and vibration. And so, for example, if we're feeling shame or guilt or anger or sadness, it's a very low contracted vibration. Whereas when we get up into love, joy, gratitude, peace, enlightenment, these are your highest vibrations you will feel. And when you get into these high vibration states, you will have a greater experience of life. You will attract more opportunities to yourself. And I know you're passionate about really helping to empower people in Pakistan to make money and to have freedom through, the online world, which is wonderful. And I think you've got such a world of opportunity there to do that, with this worldwide economy that we have, I think it's a very exciting time now for, anyone can step in and become an overnight, millionaire or even billionaire now, with particularly with the world of technology and AI, and what is possible there is absolutely extraordinary. And, they're saying that, Elon Musk was saying that there'll be 1 billion humanoid robots by 2040 is his prediction. Humanoid robots that will be able to fold your clothes or do your washing for you, or, it's extraordinary. I think we've only just seen the beginning of what is to come in the world of artificial intelligence, and it is moving rapidly. And so in that way, it's very important that people, jump on board and start to use some of these tools in their business life and move with the times. So personally, my creativity has been very, very important for me. I've also done a lot of artwork. I've been in art exhibitions. I've worked closely with a group here called Magic, was the Multicultural Arts Group in collaboration. And I'm very passionate too about cultural integration, about people learning to accept people from other cultures and learning to understand people from other cultures. And I actually started through COVID a group called Conscious Community Global. And that Dr. Hawkins scale of consciousness that I just mentioned, it is actually the photo of that. The picture is in that Conscious Community Global Facebook group, which is also in my link tree.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the amazing answer. Now let's move on to the next question. My next question is, with the rise of digital media, how have your strategies for public relations and media workshops evolved, and what advice would you give to emerging professionals in these fields?
Great questions. Well, really, I have moved with the times. I have embraced social media. I have embraced digital photography. When I started doing photography back in the film days, we had films that we had to process through the lab, and, it might take some time to get the photos back. Whereas now it's an instant society. We have instant photography. We have instant answers to questions with Google. We have, Chat GPT with instant answers to just about everything. So I have moved with the times. I have embraced social media. I have about 100,000 connections across all my social media now. You have to move with the times. If you don't move with the times, you will stay behind. And with my Mass Media Mastery program, it is delivered online to people all over the world. I do Zoom calls with clients and with people all over the world now. I've embraced that technology. We use ChatGPT, we use artificial intelligence also in our content creation now. Some of the videos that we do, the content comes from ChatGPT. It's amazing what you can do with artificial intelligence. It is absolutely mind-blowing. Some of the pictures you can create, you can even have artificial intelligence now where you can actually, say something and it can create multiple voices that sound like yours in different languages. It can actually say what you're saying in multiple languages and it sounds like you. It's insane. And it will keep getting better. And soon it's going to be, we're going to come to the point we're going to go, is that a real person we're talking to, or is that a robot, or is that an artificially intelligent created being? As much as we may not like it, there's certainly some things about artificial intelligence that are definitely scary. Like, it kind of makes me think, where is the humanity going? Where is the creativity going in some ways? Now, you can get creative with some of these AI tools. You definitely can get creative. However, there's a lot of people now don't even know how to write anymore because they've been tapping away at devices, and probably people around your age, Manahil, that just don't know how to write anything, or they can't add up anything in their head because they've been using calculators their whole life. Or, I do encourage people to also use your critical thinking faculties as well, as actually use your brain as well as use this technology. However, the fact of the matter is, if you don't embrace this new technology in some way in business or in life, you are going to get left behind. And now, of course, we have great opportunities for people in Pakistan and in China and Philippines and all over the world, in around Europe where people can hop online on places like Fiverr or Upwork, and they can get themselves work in all sorts of different fields and earn much more money than they would if they were working locally. So we have this worldwide economy now, which is very exciting opportunity for those who embrace the technology and learn to connect with people from across the world. It's amazing what opportunities are out there for you. Yeah, very exciting. The sun is just rising here in Australia. It's just gone 10 past 5 in the morning. So this interview got up at 4:30, which normally I'm a night owl, I must say, Manahil. And that's the other thing, is sometimes you need to be prepared to work at all hours of the day to connect with people across the world, because it's not always when it suits you. Sometimes you need to stretch a little bit and be available for when it suits others to chat with them as well.
Yes, ma'am,
Yeah.
you are right. Connecting with people is you are learning so much. As I learn you so much things from you, so little bit you learn me something. So when we connect with people, so we learn so much things. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me your precious time. So,
My
as we wrap up this incredible journey through your diverse, impactful career, so Adrian, it's clear that your passion for storytelling, your dedication to authentic communication, and your ability to adapt and thrive in the ever evolving media landscape have not only shaped your path but have also inspired countless others to follow their dreams. Your experience from the unforgettable interviews with icons like Hugh Jackman and Russell Crowe to your dynamic role across various media platforms illustrate our remarkable ability to connect, engage, and enlighten. So, thank you so much for being such a shining example of excellence in journalism and communication. Your contributes have not only enriched the media landscape but have also paved the way for future generation to dream bigger and aim higher. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your time.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure being with you on the show. And thank you for those who've joined us as well, from wherever you are in the world. I'd love to hear from you what you got out of this show too. What are some gems of wisdom that you've got from this show? Let us know in the comments. And I look forward to following more of your content, Manahil. I'm amazed you've done over 300 interviews. That is extraordinary. Absolutely wonderful. I love your passion, and I love the fact that you've been out there on the court. You're keen, you're hungry, you're hungry to learn. And I think that is really crucial part to being successful as well, is having that hunger, having that desire to really to learn more, to grow as a person. Because I tell you what, we never stop learning and we never learn less. And really embracing whatever's going on in the world, all the ups, all the downs. Enjoy the roller coaster ride of life. It really is an amazing, amazing ride. Thank you so much. It's been an
Thank,
absolute pleasure being here today. I'm feeling a bit emotional. I'm very grateful. Thank you so much.
thank you. Bye. Have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you.